These nails. Take a good look. 1 month ago, I did a hidden French on them using builder gel. Today, they're back for a fill, and they came back looking exactly like they should, which tells you everything about why builder gel French is worth it. But today, the real star is stamping, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I struggled with stamping for a long time before I figured it out. If you're in that same place right now, stay here. I'm giving you the actual fixes, no gatekeeping. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's going wrong and how to fix it, so don't skip ahead. This is a full, detailed video. Prep, correction, stamping technique, fixes. Get comfortable. Everything in here is useful and it builds on itself, so the payoff is at the end. If you've ever spent an hour trying to get a clean stamp and ended up wiping the whole thing, this video is specifically for you. So, my client is back. We've worked together before, though I didn't mention her name in that video. Today, I am. Her name is Vanessa. 1 month after service, hidden French builder gel. And you know what? The French is still perfect. Line is still crisp, no fading, no wear on the white. This is the exact reason I don't use painted French anymore. Builder gel doesn't erode, it's structural, not cosmetic. Now the issue. Vanessa, very smart, very proactive, decided to peel off the coating on her middle finger herself. On her own. Nobody asked her to. I said nothing. Moving right along. The rest looks great. Growth at the cuticle is normal for a month. Shape is still almond, and we're keeping it that way. If this is already useful, even just the French gel detail, hit like. It signals to the algorithm that this content is worth showing, and it helps the channel more than most people realize. First thing I always do, assess before touching anything. And here's what I see. The skin is very dry and thickened. This takes real time to address properly. I start by lifting the cuticle with a pusher, gently, no rushing. Then I use the carbide bit for removal. Advanced note, if you have very strong E-file control and you can feel the bit's pressure precisely, you can use the carbide to slightly lift the cuticle during removal, but only on thick, calloused skin. On thin or sensitive skin, do not do this. Then, diamond bits, blue grit. And here's something I always do that not everyone does. I work the full finger, not just the cuticle zone. If the skin on the fingers is rough and dry, I address it. Most clients cannot do professional level skin polishing at home without the equipment. We have the equipment. Use it. This is the kind of detail clients notice and remember. Even if they don't know exactly what you did, their hands feel different. That's what brings them back. If you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. I post consistently and it's always technical content. Prep work, technique breakdowns, fixes. No fluff. Now, the stamping. The look for today, white base, leopard print on the ring finger, hearts on the middle. We tested pink first, didn't like it, wiped it clean, went back to white. Simple design, but very intentional. Before I show you the process, let me give you the 3 things that kill stamping results, because I see these mistakes everywhere, and I made all of them myself. Problem 1, using gel paint for stamping. Stamping paint must air dry. It cannot go under a lamp. If you use gel paint and it gets on the skin, then you cure it, you will not be able to remove it. It's set. I've done this. It's not fun. Problem 2, paint that's too thick. The paint needs to be fluid enough to settle into the engraved design on the plate. If it's too thick, it sits on top of the plate, doesn't transfer cleanly, and you get a patchy or incomplete stamp. Go for liquid consistency. Practical and efficient cleanup. Use alcohol, not acetone. Alcohol removes stamping paint just as effectively, and it doesn't strip or damage the skin the way acetone does. Small detail, big difference over time. Quick question for the comments. Do you work diamond bits on the full finger or just the cuticle zone? I'm curious how other nail techs approach this. There's no wrong answer, I just genuinely want to know. And now, the fix that changed everything for me. If your stamper isn't picking up the design from the plate, not transferring, just sliding over it, here's what you do. Take a soft buffer, a really soft one, and lightly buff the surface of the stamper, just a little. You're not sanding it down, you're just refreshing the surface texture, and then test it again. I found this completely by accident. The stamper had been sitting around and stopped gripping. I buffed it out of frustration, and it worked perfectly. I've used this fix ever since. Try it and tell me in the comments if it worked for you. I want to know how many people this actually helps. Here's the honest truth about stamping products. The technique matters more than the brand. You can get bad results with expensive paint and great results with budget paint if you understand viscosity, dry time, and how your specific stamper behaves. The 3 fixes I gave you today, paint type, paint consistency, and the buffer trick, those cover the majority of stamping failures. Master those before you go chasing a different product. Final result on Vanessa. Almond shape, stamping with leopard and hearts, skin polished and smooth, the whole service clean and precise. And here's what I want you to take from this. The difference between a nail tech who gets consistent results and one who doesn't is almost never about having better products. It's about understanding the mechanics of what you're doing. When you know why something works, you can fix it when it doesn't. That's it for today. If you made it to the end, I appreciate it. Like if you learned something, subscribe if you haven't yet, and drop a comment. Do you already do stamping, or is this something you've been wanting to try? Beauty that is, above all, safe.